Projector.
How y'all feeling? Let me fix this mic right now. I got a feeling I'm gonna need it. Whew. How y'all been enjoying this performance tonight? I'm loving the energy. So first and foremost, good evening. First of all, I ain't got no talents. All right, I can't sing. Yeah, I ain't got colloquialism. Check it out. I ain't gonna do it. All right. So before I get started, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the students and staff who worked tirelessly, right, to put this amazing production on, celebrating Black culture during Black History Month. So, can we just take a moment to give them all a hand, please? And for the young people out in the audience, I don't want you to take this for granted, right? I just want you to understand that this is not something that many Black and brown people got to experience growing up. I know it's definitely not something I got to experience when I was growing up and in school, and it's something that Black and brown kids across the country still today aren't getting to experience and witness. So don't take it for granted. And I want to shout out the admin and the teachers who have supported these students, right? And supported their vision. Tom, Jess, Lamine, Danielle, right? You guys supported the vision that these students had to bring this experience here tonight. And this didn't just happen because the work that they put in, the days, the nights, the hours that they put in to make this happen, it happened because you supported their vision and believed in their vision. And I'm just gonna stamp this. This is what you get. This is the excellence that you get when you support a child's vision. All right? You know, as I sat down to draft my words, I was conflicted on what I was gonna talk about tonight because, see, while this is a celebration of Black excellence and Black culture, the harsh reality is that Black culture in America has its roots in a great deal of pain and trauma. When the first slave ships hit American shores in 1619, I don't think any of the Black beautiful people on those boats could fathom the pain, the trauma, and the heartache that their people would experience for almost 400 years. In the words of my man Deontay Wilder, to this day, Black and brown people are still trying to find their way in a land whose founding documents only counted us as 3/5 of man. To this day, Black and brown people are still trying to find their way in a land whose criminal justice system has more Black and brown people under its supervision than all slaves in 1850. To this day, Black and brown people are still trying to find their way in a land in which a Black woman is only making 62 cents for every dollar that a white man makes. But you see why those things are always top of mind for me. I know those issues couldn't be my focus tonight, see, because while there are a great deal of things that have happened in this country's history, it still happened today that make me angry. I mean, it enrages me. There are just as many things that bring me joy. And one of the biggest joys is knowing that my history didn't start on the shores of Jamestown. My roots don't begin in bondage and oppression. It brings me joy knowing that woven into my DNA, the blood that runs through my body is a warrior spirit. A warrior spirit like no other. See, history books will have you believe that our history doesn't go past the whips and chains. History books will have you believing that the English settlers did us a favor by bringing Africans to America. History books will have you believe that before Africans were brought to America, they were uncivilized savages, without culture, without religion, living amongst the wild. See, what the history books often fail to mention is that we come from greatness. Great thinkers, men and women of noble stature. The richest man to have ever walked this earth was a Black man. Mansa Musa of the Mali Empire, who was worth, in today's dollar, $400 billion. And let me put that in perspective for you. Jeff Bezos, who runs Amazon, he misses that mark about $300 billion. History books don't tell you that there was once a time when Black people ruled the world. The Moors, who brought science and math and astronomy and art and agriculture, universal education, this idea that everybody should be able to read and write. Hygiene and fashion, paved and lighted streets, medicine and hospitals, all under the rule of Black people. The books don't tell you about the Kingdom of Ghana, the Songhai Empire, the Ethiopian Empire, the Benin Empire, the Axum Empire. But I bet you if you go pick up a book, you can read about the Roman Empire. You can go read about Greeks and European explorers. You can pick up a book and find out all you want to know about the Enlightenment. But what those books don't teach you is that none of that happens without the influence of Black people. See, history and ancestry, the history and the ancestry that you got running through your veins is deeper than what these books will have you believe. It's deeper than what the movies and TV and media will have you know. The history is so deep that the people have tried to destroy it. Your history is so deep that people have tried to erase it. Your history is so deep that they tried to bury it, the same way they try to bury you. Even if we fast forward a bit, the story is still the same and the tactic doesn't change. History books will teach you that African Americans desperately needed integration. It only teaches you that African Americans were suffering economically, educationally, and socially. That Brown versus the Board of Education and the Civil Rights Act was the best thing that could ever happen for black people. What history books don't teach you is that in the era after Reconstruction, black people were able to build communities all across this country. Even in the heat of some of the most intense racial violence, these were communities that thrived. Black-owned businesses, schools, universities. These communities had black doctors, black lawyers, black firefighters, police, black principals, black teachers, black business owners, black multimillionaires. Communities like Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, East St. Louis in Chicago, Illinois, Atlanta, Georgia, Rosewood, Florida. All of these were communities that were built by black people and where black people prospered. All of these were communities that were eventually and ultimately destroyed in waves of riots and white violence. So what did America have to fear? Why aren't these things taught in the history books? Why was this nation so afraid of Martin and Malcolm's influence and rhetoric? Why was this nation so afraid of the appeal of the Black Panther Party? See, Marianne Williamson once wrote, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others." See, that's not just our deepest fear. That's the world's deepest fear. That we are powerful beyond measure. See, the truth is that nothing exists without you. And the unfortunate thing here is that there's been a concerted effort to ensure that you don't know that. Malcolm knew it, Martin knew it, Huey knew it. You probably heard the saying, American culture is black culture, but let me be honest. World culture is black culture. And I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back who didn't hear me. World culture is black culture. We are powerful beyond measure. And when you think about it, and like you really think about it, the reason that we've been persecuted, the reason we've been beaten, the reason we've been killed is because they've known all along that within you is greatness. And because of all that is great within you, there's been a coordinated attempt to destroy your history. See, your greatness is a power that you have. It's your superpower. It's our superpower. And to let that greatness prosper, to let that greatness shine, to let that greatness live out its true potential is a threat to the power structure. So let's be real, the next time you feel like the world is so hell-bent on holding you back that the system is conspiring to keep its boot on your neck, remember it's because they know your history. They know you come from a lineage of greatness. They know what gifts live within you. And let me be clear, the world is deathly terrified of all that you are capable of doing. So my ask of you tonight, prove them right. Show them just how great and powerful you can be. Remember that you come from a people with a warrior spirit, right? A people like Mansa Musa, Queen Nanny of the Maroons, Toussaint Louverture, Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, Fannie Lou Hamer, Baynard Rustin, James Baldwin, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael and Assata Shakur, Huey P. Newton, Angela Davis, Nelson Mandela, Tarana Burke, Brian Stevenson, and don't forget Pop and Nipsey. Remember that you come from greatness, that you too come from great kings and queens, from the bloodline of rulers and conquerors and warriors. You come from a lineage of thinkers and philosophers and creators. Remember who your ancestors are. And from this day forth, make them proud.